What is up, Fin fans? I'm giving you guys a straight from the phone video, being that it's getting super late, and I want to make sure you guys get this content before it becomes 1 o'clock. Also, if you can tell, new background, I'm not done unpacking, I'm not done setting that up, but first day of pads, so I promise you guys I make a video, and I'm going to give you guys that video. Brian Flores, Kyle Van Noy, Jerome Baker, Ted Karras talked to the media. I'm going to talk about what Flores and Van Noy had to say. I think some of the things that they talked about were super important and things that I really want to talk about. Jerome Baker and Ted Karras, if you guys want to check those out, you can go and check out their stuff on the Miami Dolphins YouTube page. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of the things that were happening on the field. I got some tidbits from Cameron Wolfe and Safid Dean. They tweeted out like 1 or 2 things about what they noticed on the field. Again, no live tweets. Normally with these types of videos, you'd get like so-and-so broke so-and-so, or so-and-so would have sacked so-and-so. They're not doing that anymore. So we'll talk about that, and then I'll get to the comment of the day, where I just have something I'd like to say to you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I got to say it. So let's jump into what they had to say. Now, Brian Flores, he talks about Tua. He says he looks healthy, but like any rookie, he needs to get more snaps, get acclimated to the NFL. That's understandable. Talks about the O-line. He says there's a lot of chemistry that needs to be built there, which is 100% true. 100% true. Don't mind me. I'm just switching hands because my arm is tired. 100% true, because we only have Jesse Davis on the team. He was on the team last year. Other than that, all these guys have never played with each other. All of these guys are new. So they have to build that chemistry. He said it could be better, and I'm hoping and praying that he is talking about the offensive line from last year and not that it could be better from what he's seeing in camp. Because all he said is it could be better. He says, we're wondering on some of the combinations, but with offensive line, you don't know what you have until the pads come on. They've been moving things around. They've taken Robert Hunt. They've even played him at left tackle a little bit. They've taken, probably Solomon Kinley's been in there with Jesse Davis at right tackle. There's probably a ton of combinations that are going on there. He says, if you're not ready, there's going to be some problems. I'm wondering if he means in camp or if he means when the start of the season comes. If you're not ready, there's going to be some problems, because you bet your bottom dollar you're not ready when the season starts for the Miami Dolphins on September 13th. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a big problem. And then the last thing he says is they're in pads, so they have a little bit more protection. We're going to let them go a little more today. More hits, more movement, more probably grab in, push in, especially with the offensive and defensive line. They need to see what they have in the combinations that work there. Then they talked to Kyle Van Noy. He said he had a good first practice with the Miami Dolphins. Well, in pads, so that's a good thing. He says not to the media. He says not being allowed to tweet. I bet you guys are dying, but I think us fans are dying more than the media is when it comes to tweeting. He talks about Tua. They asked him, what do you think about Tua? He says, I knew this was coming. I'm not going to answer that. Ask me Kyle Van Noy questions, and I get it. I get it 100%. They're repeating themselves. There's only so much you could say about the kid. We get it. The kid is super smart. The kid has a great head on his shoulders. He's got his nose in the books. He's trying to build a chemistry with the entire team. We get it. At some point, I bet you these players are getting real sick and tired of getting asked about Tua. And he said, don't ask me. I'm not answering. I'm only asking Kyle Van Noy questions. He talks about being a multiple position player. He says it's a dying breed. Run, coverage, one of those situations. Very rarely do you get all three. And I'm bringing that energy to the team. Be a problem, be a mismatch. And I agree 1,000%. Him being a triple threat, him being able to get after the quarterback, stop the run, and drop back in coverage is a big reason why, if you go back and watch my live stream when the Dolphins signed him, I was super pumped and I wanted the Dolphins to go after Kyle Van Noy. He fits this scheme. He fits that multipality, I guess you can say. It's not even a word, but I made it up, of him playing different positions in a defense where hopefully Brian Flores wants you to play different positions. And then he talks about to the young guys. He has something to say to the young guys, and it is, it's more of a marathon than a sprint. As he talks about, he says you want to inhale as much info as possible. You want to work on your craft each and every day and get better each and every day. Yes. The NFL stands for not for long for many reasons, right? The NFL stands for not for long because if you're a head coach and you don't do your thing and you don't produce and you don't have winning season at least once in your 3 years, you're gone. And if you start falling on your face and have multiple 2, 3, 4 win seasons, you're gone. It's not for long. Same thing comes to building on your craft. If you rest on your laurels and you don't try to get better, someone younger, someone better is going to come in and they're going to steal your job. So, like he said, each and every day you got to get better. So, those are some of the things that from Flores and Kyle Van Noy that really interested me. Like I said, Jerome Baker and Ted Karras also had press conferences. You guys can go check them out. But Flores talking about the O-line combination really interests me because it's very important. If this O-line sucks, this team's going to suck. And Kyle Van Noy talking about being a triple threat is huge. Is absolutely huge. Like I said, he fits perfectly in this defense, and I think that's why the Dolphins went after him the way they did. So that's what that's the presser. That's that stuff. Let's talk about the juicy stuff that you guys want to talk about. Let's talk about what happened on the field. Before I get to that, Miami Dolphins released Adrian Colbert over the weekend. Again, I was moving, so I wasn't really able to give you guys the footage of that. Surprising to me. It really is surprising to me. I thought they would have kept him. I think he did pretty decent with the team last year, especially with the unknown that we have at safety right now with Eric Rowe and with Bobby McCain. We have Fedulum, we have Brandon Jones. I thought Adrian Colbert would have made it, but the Dolphins cut him. So he's moved on. Let's talk about the on-the-field stuff. All of them. Every single player was there, except for X. Obviously, he's on the pup. Eric Flowers is off of the list. He was on there for about 2 weeks, which means he did test positive. So, I'm glad he's better. I'm glad he's doing his thing. Hopefully he's staying healthy and he's not feeling any repercussions of being tested positive. But let's talk about some on-the-field play. Josh Rosen, from what I'm hearing, connected on some really great deep balls. He had a pretty decent practice. Again, this is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm reading. I'm hearing them saying he had a pretty decent practice. He did pretty well today. Fitz connected with Parker, Preston Williams, and Jakeem Grant on deep balls, doing his thing. Eric Rowe forced the fumble on Kalen Ballage. And when I read that, I was like, come on, man. I have my reservations about him. I think, he needs to produce more. He needs to do more. He had one good run against the Minnesota Vikings. And yes, he ran behind a horrible offensive line last year. But, then you hear that he fumbled. And that's all you hear. He probably did fantastic for the rest of the day. But all that came out was that he fumbled. And I was just like, come on, Kalen. Tua was limited. Now, was he limited? And again, I read that could he have been limited because they know what he has in certain aspects and they want to see what he can do in other aspects? That's a possibility. He only had 2 passes on 11 on 11. Both were completed. Not crazy passes, but both were completed. And he was mostly doing handoffs, rollouts, play action stuff. Wasn't doing much. And again, is that because the Dolphins are limiting him because they know what they already have in him? Or are they limiting him because they don't want to push him too hard? We don't know. Me personally, I think they probably think they already know what they have and they already can see what they, all right, we know he can throw these passes. Let's see what he can do here. Let's see if he remembers these route combinations. Let's see if he remembers this type of protection. I think that's more of it than anything else. And then, Preston Williams, last thing I'm going to talk about, he was fielding punts. Why? That's what caused him to tear his ACL, is a punt return. Why is he fielding punts? He's the number 1 wide receiver or number 2 wide receiver. Don't have this man field punts. Even at practice, don't have this man field punts. When I read that, I was like, why are you doing that? But from the first day of camp in pads, again, it sucks. We couldn't talk about it. We couldn't get play-by-plays. We couldn't get all that stuff. But from what I'm hearing, Josh Rosen, pretty decent day. Fitz, normal day. Tua, limited, but still had a pretty decent day. Eric Rowe forcing a fumble, bad day for Ballage. Preston Williams returning punts. Why? I will say this, though, and we're going to hear a lot of things coming out of camp, and we're going to hear a lot of things about who's doing really well, who's doing really bad. I will say this. Take it however you want, but take it with just a little bit. Because if you guys remember last offseason, Kalen Ballage doing great, getting more carries than Drake. Kalen Ballage is killing it. Season started, he fell on his face. You could do great in camp, but once the game starts, that's where I need to see it. For certain positions. Quarterbacks, we got to trust the process. Like I said, you know, Rosen did well, Fitz did well, Tua did well with whatever they handed him. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the other padded practices go. Like I said, when we get, like tomorrow, if we get more news, we get more stuff like that, I'll give you guys a video. It won't be straight from the phone. I promise you that. But be sure to comment below. I'm very interested to see what you guys have to think about what Flores had to say, what Van Noy had to say, the release of Adrian Colbert, and what essentially the little that we got from camp. Be sure to comment below, and I'm going to get to the comment of the day, which essentially is me just thanking you guys, right? I bought a house, and I moved into that house this weekend, and it's a process. It's a very long, tedious, exhausting process of unpacking, moving things, and making sure things are ready. Like I said, look, I still have half of the Dolphin stuff left to get unpacked. You can see these shelves are not even filled. I have to put the other lights on this one so I can have orange and green. I have to hang the stuff on the wall. I have a lot to do, and you guys are being super awesome and super supportive. I want to make more videos. I don't want them to come from the phone, and the fact that you guys are just excited for videos and anything, and you know, follow me on Twitter, all that stuff, I want to thank you for that. So comment of the day is, again, me just being mushy and thanking you guys for supporting the channel, for subscribing, for hitting thumbs ups, for commenting, for sharing. Ron and a bunch of you other guys have been sharing the channel, sharing my content on Facebook pages, on Twitter. Shake Money was doing it. Rhino Sith was doing it on Twitter. I noticed you guys were sharing my videos and stuff, and it means the world to me, because by doing that, this channel can grow, get better, all that great stuff. So for comment of the day, like I said, it's just a big thank you to you guys for being patient while I'm going through this move, setting up this great studio, and doing some great things for you guys. So I'm telling you, this channel is going to get real good, real quick, and a lot of big upgrades. I'm telling you, look at the behind me. It's already starting to happen. Some really big upgrades, and that's all because of you guys. So again, just want to thank you guys. But other than that, you know, be sure to follow me on Twitter if you want to see the videos that I was talking about, where, you know, you get to see Tua passing, Rosen passing, Fitz passing, players doing their thing. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. I retweet it there if I can't put it in a video and I'm making it from my phone like I'm doing now. Also my Instagram, Fan Network, fantofannetwork.com / it's actually twitch.tv/fantofannetwork. Sunday we had the premiere, and they're doing nightly things through the weekend, through the week. So be sure to check them out. Check out DolphinsTalk.com. Great content over there as well. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Probably going to be tomorrow if more camp stuff comes out. And if they're in pads again tomorrow, you'll get another video tomorrow, and not from the phone. I'm going to have everything set up tomorrow. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Like usual, again, thank you guys for all the support. Stay classy, and fins up.